Hello everyone, it's Nick with Nick's Hard Rock CD album review. I hope everyone's doing well. The band we're going to look at today is LA Guns. This is their second album called Cocked and Loaded, and it was released in August of 1989. And as I said, their second album, and this is a great album. It's more than great. This is fantastic. I love this. I have fond, vivid memories of when I first got this, back in the late 80s, obviously. And yeah, great fond memories. I used to play this all the time. I just couldn't get enough of this album. Well, couldn't get enough of this band, actually. So we'll kick it right into it. Yeah, so released in 1989. I'll just read out the tracks. We've got Letting Go, Slap in the Face, Rip and Tear, Sleazy Come Easy Go, Never Enough, Malaria, The Ballad of Jane, Magdalene, Give a Little, I'm Addicted, 17 Crash, Showdown Ride on Sunset, Wheels of Fire, and I Want to Be Your Man. And we'll just, since I've got the guys here, we'll introduce them. There we've got Kelly Nichols, the bass player. Up there we've got Steve Riley, the drummer. In the middle there is Phil Lewis, lead singer. There is Mick Cripps, the rhythm guitarist and keyboard player. And on the end there is lead guitarist Tracy Guns. And this was their most successful album throughout their whole career. This is the album that had the most success. They released 5 singles from this album: Rip and Tear, Never Enough, I Want to Be Your Man, Malaria, and The Ballad of Jane. Now the song The Ballad of Jane, that's their most well-known song and their most successful song. You pretty much call it their signature song. You know, a lot of bands have that one signature song that everyone knows and gave them the most success. Well, this is LA Guns' signature song, The Ballad of Jane, and it reached number 33 on the Billboard Hot 100 charts and number 25 on the American mainstream rock chart. So it did very well, you know. And as I've said, 1989 was a big year for a lot of these hard rock bands. You know, you had Motley Crue who just released Dr. Feelgood. You had Aerosmith releasing the massive Pump album. Skid Row had just hit the scene. You know, you had all these bands that were just competing with each other. So it's a very good effort. And this actual album, Cocked and Loaded, went number 38 on the Billboard 200 album chart. And it actually reached gold album sales status. So 500,000 plus albums sold. Now, I actually think that this album should have gone more than gold. This album should have gone platinum, you know, 1 million copies, or double platinum, you know, 1 million plus copies. It's so infectious, this album. And it's got a good vibe to it. It's a fun, enjoyable album. It's not too serious, you know, and these are great musicians, these guys, really good musicians, and you can tell they're having a great time making this album. So yeah, number 38 on the American charts, and it reached number 45 on the UK charts, and number 23 on the Japanese charts. So yeah, so now in regards to, look, it was really hard trying to narrow down my favourite tracks because, well, there's so many of them. The songs Slap in the Face, Rip and Tear, 17 Crash, Showdown Ride on Sunset. They're just, you've got the massive choruses and, you know, the fist pumping type songs, you know, just, you can't get them out of your head. You know, especially the song Rip and Tear, Showdown Ride on Sunset, they just stick in your head. And there's another song called Never Enough, and it's a cool video clip for that, by the way, but that song you will not be able to get out of your head. It's got a great guitar riff and got the soaring the soaring vocals and choruses. It's just a brilliant album, this one. But they do have two songs called Malaria and Magdalene, which actually show a bit of a darker side to LA Guns. I don't mean really doom and gloom, but a bit of a dark, sort of, a bit of a gothic type sound. Now, LA Guns have always had this, I reckon. They've always had that bit of a dark, slightly gothic, nothing major, undertones to their songs and also their image in a way. But it works really well. Malaria and Magdalene, they work really well. You know, it's a good mixture of throwing those two songs in amongst all the other great chorus type songs. Now, the actual song Ballad of Jane, which was their most successful single, it's just a nice love ballad song. Yeah, that's all I can say. It's nothing majorly spectacular, but it's just a nice song, you know. And there's also two other songs called Give a Little and Sleazy Come Easy Go, and they've got a bit of a great rocking swagger to them, and I can't rave enough about this album. It's just brilliant. It's as I said, I've got fond memories of listening to this when I back in the day. But yeah, so I've always been a massive fan of LA Guns, and as I mentioned in the LA Guns video, LA Guns are sort of the offshoot of Guns N' Roses. Because Tracy Guns, I won't go into the history too much. Tracy Guns was in Guns N' Roses before it became Guns N' Roses. It was called Hollywood Rose before it became Guns N' Roses. But anyway, if you want to know the full story, you can check out the past video, the video clip I did on LA Guns. But they're great musicians, and Tracy Guns is one hell of a guitar player. He can play the hell out of a guitar, yeah, just a really enjoyable album. And I actually picked this album up secondhand quite a while ago now, and I'm so glad that I've got this album back again because it's fantastic. I can't rave enough about this album. And as you know, all the album reviews I've been giving the album a mark out of 10, and this is the first time I'm going to do this, and this is a 10 out of 10. It is brilliant. I love it so much, and I actually just listened to it before I did this review. As I've told you guys, I always listen to the album before I do the review, and absolutely brilliant, absolutely fantastic. So there we go, the fantastic LA Guns, and I've got two more. Here's look at their first album here. That's their first album. I've got three more other albums to do of LA Guns. Yeah, so. But there we go, LA Guns, 10 out of 10, the Cocked and Loaded album, released in 1989. It can't go wrong. It puts a smile on your face. It will get you rocking. It will get you dancing. It'll get your fist pumping in the air. Fantastic album. I could go on for hours about this album, but I won't. So there we go, LA Guns, Cocked and Loaded. Now the next album I can see that I'm going to do is, hang on a sec, is White Lion. I'm glad this one's come up because I told you guys recently, not too long ago, I got a whole lot of White Lion albums. So this is their first album, Fight to Survive, and I've already listened to the White Lion albums I've got, and fantastic. I used to have a White Lion back in the not an actual White Lion. I used to have a White Lion album back in the day, but I've got them now. I've got them all now. So there we go. We'll do White Lion's first album in the next video. So until then, thank you for watching, and thank you for your support, and take care, everyone. Look after yourselves, and as the boys on LA Guns did so well on this album, keep on rocking and stay safe, everyone. Bye bye.